guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Benedicte. In today's video I'm going to be filming a week in the life or a couple of days of my life. Yeah, one of those. So today is Monday the 20th of September. I just got back from clinicals, so I'm having a quick snack. I'm having some avocado and toast. So my plan for the rest of this day is to basically prep for my unseen exam. I have an unseen exam coming up on Wednesday, so I just want to prep for that. Like, I want to go through my notes, go through the theory stuff, and practice a couple of things. I have an assignment due on Friday, which I kind of haven't really started. They gave it to us a while back, so I have to really start with that. So my assignment is due on Friday and I have an unseen exam on Wednesday. So those are the two things that I really need to be focusing on at the moment. So yeah, I think I'm going to get started on my assignment first. I think I might do the introduction part, and then I will either the introduction and a little bit more, or I'm not really sure. And then I'm going to get my assistant to help me practice for my unseen exam, because obviously it's a practical, so I have to practice the things on a real person. So that's one of the things that really helps you. Definitely practice on actual people. Don't just sit and watch videos. Well, watching videos helps, but don't just sit and watch videos, or don't just imagine the thing, because I know we've all tried that thing of imagining meat measuring ROM on a person. Yeah, it's practice on somebody. So yeah, I'm gonna get my assistant to help me with that. So for anybody who may not know, in an unseen exam, it's basically they give you a patient that you've never seen before, you've never treated, you've never done an assessment, and you're asked to do the subjective assessment. Because at first you have to read the file. So they give you like 30 minutes to read the file, and then you have to do your subjective assessment. You ask all the questions, and then you do your objective assessment, right? And then from there you have to, I think they give you some time to treat. I'm not too sure about that yet. But then you have to do a POMS and an ICF. I think they give you like 30 minutes to do those. I could be wrong, I just have to double check. But then they give you some time to do the POMS and the ICF. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right? So you do all of that in, I think, about an hour total. Yeah, I feel like the time might be a little bit short for me, because I always take quite long to do my subjective. So I'm just going to try and practice asking really important questions instead of taking time asking, like going into detail, because I find that when I do subjective assessments I always feel like I go into too much detail, and they give us 15 minutes. So if they're going to give us 15 minutes, I may not be able to cover all the questions I want to cover in 15 minutes, and then I don't want to end up in a situation where the time is over and I haven't asked all the important stuff. So I'm just going to figure out how to ask what's important. And the objective, obviously in the objective assessment, you do, like, you go in and you do your observation, your posture, your palpation, balance, gait. You do your muscle strength, you do your ROM, you do your neurodynamics, your neurological testing, what, all those things you do in your objective assessment. So basically the unseen, the focus is on your ability to assess the patient. It's not so much your ability to treat, but it's more so your ability to assess. So in the seen exam is more about your treatment, and then the unseen is more about the examination, the assessment type thing. So that's pretty much a bit of a rundown about what an unseen exam is like. So first I want to work on my assignments, and if I don't get enough time to go through my practical work, then I'll just do that tomorrow and do a little bit of practicing tomorrow. So yeah, my assignments, let me just show you my assignments actually. So you can always pause the screen if you want to read what the whole assignment says, but basically this is my block 5 OPD assignment. I'm in my NMS outpatient department block, and this is the assignment that I need to submit for this block. Basically it's about patellofemoral pain syndrome. So they gave me a little case study there, and then the question for me to answer is that I need to discuss the potential risk factors for patellofemoral pain syndrome and outline the rehabilitation program for the condition, and then I need to provide evidence. So yeah, that's pretty much what the assignment is. So obviously, because they said everything I need to do, I need support with evidence. So I'm gonna first go ahead and look for some articles to back up everything I want to write in my assignment. So that's what I'm busy doing right now. I'm looking for articles, and then I'm gonna make a rough plan of the outline of the assignment. So what I want to talk about in the introduction, in the next paragraph, my conclusion, and all of that stuff. So just make a little bit of a rough draft before I start writing anything. So that's what I'll be doing for now. Hey guys, so late in the evening, I just started preparing for my answered exam. I was going through all my notes and all the theory things that I wanted to practice. So then my sister came along and helped me to be my model so that I could practice some of the things on her. What you didn't see is that I did the subjective assessment as I would have done it during the answered exam. And then I moved on to doing an objective assessment. I assessed her balance where I had her do a tandem standing and also standing with one step forward. And then you just saw us do gaits, so I had to walk forward and backwards just so that I could assess, her gaits, all the steps of the gait cycle, the heel strike, and all of that stuff. And then from here, I figured that I wanted to assess everything that needed to be assessed when the patient is standing. So like clearing the hip joints during the squats. I feel like it's always helpful to do all of the movements that need to be done in standing when the patient is standing, and then when they're sitting, do all of the movements. So if you want to do all of your strength and your ROM when the patient is sitting, then you do all of them in sitting, then you move them into supine, and then you do all of your assessments in supine, then get them to side lying, do the assessments prone, do the assessments. It's just easier doing it that way, because when you have your patient moving from sitting to standing to side lying to standing to sitting, it's just very complicated. So I feel like I try to get a little routine in my head of what I want to assess, what position. Even with that, you still see me struggle a little bit because I still find it difficult to decide what needs to be assessed in what position. So that is definitely something that I'm still practicing till this day. But yeah, I feel like that's one of the best things to do. So here I'm just measuring her knee range of motion using my goniometer. I think I measured it in supine, and then over here I measured it in side lying. I think you can do either, and I think I just prefer doing it in side lying for some reason. And then I just go ahead and record the values for that range of motion. So I did range of motion actively and passively, and then we moved on to testing muscle strength and sitting. So obviously I'm gonna assess all of the movements, all the muscle strength movements in sitting. She had already good grade 3 muscle strength, so I just went straight into testing from grade 4 using 2 fingers, and then I did grade 5 for I did 5 fingers for grade 5. She was compensating by holding onto the table, so that's why I think you saw me tell her to move her hands off of the table, because you need to get good results, and if the patient is compensating, then your results could be inaccurate. And then we moved on to testing muscle strength for knee flexion, and then ankle dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. From there, I had her move into the prone position so that I could test hip extension as well as knee flexion. Next up, I did a couple of things which I didn't include the footage of, but then from here I moved on to practicing some of my special tests. I'm doing the anterior and posterior drawer tests for the knee, and then I did some other special tests like the valgus varus tests for the medial and lateral collateral ligaments, and then I also did the McMurray's special tests for the meniscus, both medial and lateral meniscus. I do have to be honest and say that from time to time, I did struggle on remembering how to perform the techniques correctly. So if you find yourself in that situation, you can just always open YouTube and watch a little video and do the actual technique as they're showing you on the YouTube video. So then from there, I moved on to the patella. I just wanted to go ahead and check the mobility in the patella. And then I also did the patella grind test, where I'm pushing down on the patella or holding down the patella from the superior portion, and then I asked the patient to do an isometric quadriceps contraction. And the positive sign for that patella grind test would be pain when the patient does the quadriceps contraction. And then I did some other patella tests as well. Hi guys, so I've just been treated for something like I didn't even know I had. It's called patellophoniscus.
What?
Patellophoniscus.
Femoral.
Patellofemoral syndrome. And basically just being the pro athlete that I've been ever since like high school and stuff, like I had always had this pain in my knees, and now that I'm basically an elite athlete at this point in my life, the pain just got worse. So we did a few tests, like special tests and meniscus, and after like a thorough examination, it just came out that I may be dealing with patellofemoral femoral, and we ruled out the possibility that I actually could be dealing with meniscus as well. So it was really just great to find out that this is where I'm at in my career, just with becoming a pro. So anyway, let's just continue. I'll update you guys afterwards.
From here, I moved on to doing the Faber's special test for the hip, and the positive sign for this test would be pain in the groin area or pain in the lower back region. So that's what I was just doing here, practicing just in case my patient may have came in with pain in the hip area. So to perform this technique, I asked my patient to flex her knee as well as externally rotate it and bring the foot over the other leg, and then I just apply a downwards pressure onto that bent knee. I then moved on to doing some special tests for the ankle. Over here, I'm just practicing how to do the Taylor tilt test. The Taylor tilt test is used to assess for sprain in the anterior talofibular ligament or in the calcaneofibular ligament.
I've just finished doing a mock unseen exam on my sister, and I actually timed it this time. So they give us about 45 minutes during the actual exam to do the subjective and objective. I took 15 minutes to do the subjective assessment, and I took 30 minutes to do the objective assessment. So I think that's pretty good, considering that I was actually worried about the time not being enough. So I feel like the fact that I practiced, it's actually going to help me when I actually get to see my patient tomorrow. Yeah, so anyways, that's going to be a wrap for today, and I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow when it's time for me to do my exam. Bye! Hey guys, so I finished writing my unseen exam today, and wow, I think it went okay. The patient that I got was a hand patient, and I was not expecting hand at all. Like the only time I ever saw hand, I saw like one patient for hand and one patient who had an elbow issue during my 4 weeks of NMS. So this was like the first time I saw a proper hand patient, and I was not expecting it. But anyways, I think because I had like a routine of everything I was going to do, like no matter the condition, I had specific steps to follow. I just followed those same steps with the hand patient, and luckily we had I think 2 weeks ago we had a supervision session where we saw another patient who had like an elbow, hand, wrist injury type thing. So in that session we had measured range, and if it wasn't for that session, I would not have known how to measure range for my exam patient today. So yeah, luckily that went well. But the problem was that she had like a hand wrist injury type of thing, but on top of that she also had like neural issues. So it was really difficult for me because I don't really know too much about neural type of conditions, so yeah, I did my neurodynamic testing, which was like really positive. She couldn't even move throughout that test when I was doing it, so she was really struggling, which indicated that there was some neural issue. But problem was that I was like, my possible diagnosis was carpal tunnel. And then when I spoke with my supervisor who was supervising me during the exam, like after we spoke, like when we spoke after I see my patient, she was like, it probably wasn't carpal tunnel, probably like chronic, I think she said it was chronic pain chronic regional pain syndrome, which is something I've never heard about before. But she did say that it's kind of difficult to diagnose, and she hasn't really seen many patients like that. So I felt a little bit better to know that okay, it's not a common thing, and it's not something I'm expected to actually know. So she was like, okay, it was a good thing that you were on the carpal tunnel syndrome direction, because that was a good direction to be on. So anyways, in essence, my exam went okay. I would just say it went okay, and I'm just glad it's over, and I just want to move on with my life at this point and finish my assignments, because next week I'm on a 1-week break and I cannot wait for this week to be done.
Where's the sun?
Huh? Right, you are filming and the sun is right
I
behind
know.
us. So
Wait, oh, there we go, there we go. Doesn't matter. Last day of the vlog, how are you guys feeling?
I feel
Bring your
like today
comments.
is gonna be a very busy day.
I feel like that as well.
Yes.
And I feel like just because it's the last day, they'd probably like bombard us with patients.
Because there's a very long queue there. We
But
don't
that's
know
not-
of those patients. We don't know how many are out.
But those are not,
people are
those are
screening.
They're
exactly.
screening exactly to come in, and we don't know which departments they're going to. They could also be a patient.
But we know that we only get like 4 patients for each of us every hour.
So today you want your end of vlog most.
You can
Do anything like what? Like what? C5, 6 patients in what, 4
for
hours?
the patients. It means
True,
against me.
true. Oh, look who's here.
I'm joking. I'll give it back later.
Can I be in your YouTube?
Of course. Hey.
It's my exam day.
Oh yeah, you're doing your exam today. Ooh, scary stuff. How are you feeling?
That's a tricky question.
Hi, Sarah.
Sort of.
Welcome to the end of this vlog, guys. This vlog is over and I'm so happy. It has been a long and stressful vlog. I remember like the first day I started this placement. I even did a video on it, my NMS placement vlog. Go and watch it if you haven't yet. But I remember how stressful I was on the first day of this placement. Oh my gosh, like looking back, it is so funny how I was panicking so much. But I just remember that I was just going through a lot back then. It was only 4 weeks ago, by the way. Like, it's amazing how when you can sit down and reflect to where you started off on something, it's amazing how you can see the growth. Like, I definitely see the growth that I've gone through in only 4 weeks of time. But after doing the same thing every single day for 4 weeks, I started learning. I started getting more comfortable with the placement. I started getting more comfortable with NMS, because like, guys, like, if I had to give somebody some type of advice, like if you're going to NMS, I would say definitely prepare yourself for a lot of workload, prepare yourself to see a lot of patients. I don't know if all the placements are like that, but a lot of the times I hear that people always say that in NMS you see a lot of patients and it's not easy. So you have to really learn how to manage your time really well. I don't think I've learned still how to manage my time really well, and it's been 5 blocks that I've done this year and I'm still struggling with time management. So make sure that you learn how to manage your time well. I would also say that make sure that you know your theory work, like go through your stuff before you start seeing patients, because that will really help you to be more prepared when somebody comes with something that obviously you've never seen before because you've never done NMS before. You learn the stuff theory, but then you never see the things practically. So if you understand the theory work, then practically you'll be able to do it a lot more easier. Like in summary, the main things that I struggled with was time management, definitely. It was also workload. Like I was not used to seeing as many patients as we had this block. And I'd also say, like, just knowing the stuff, you know, like don't underestimate learning and understanding what they teach you, because if you don't pay attention during those lectures, it will come and bite you in the butt during practicals. Yeah, definitely don't play around during lectures. So because honestly, if you just learn the stuff once off during practicals, you don't have to go and read all the stuff from scratch, you know. So yeah, those are some of the things that I would say would be like my advice to anybody going into NMS placements. So yeah, my next placement is in 1 week from now. So next week I have the whole week off, which I'm super happy about. So yeah, after that I start my block 6, which is the final block of 3rd year, which is going to be my cardiopulmonary block, and I'm going to go to Barra for it. Guys, pray for me because the stories I hear about Barra, I am honestly scared. So I'm going to use this 1 week to prepare myself emotionally because apparently the supervisors, they are not nice and the workload is heavy. So if I thought the workload at Tambo during NMS was heavy, then I'm about to go through it there. So I don't know, I'll update you guys on how it is there at Barra. But yeah, I'm just gonna take this 1 week off to, I don't know, maybe just prepare myself for that block and just chill a little bit and relax, because the last 2 blocks I did not even have a single day off. Thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you have anything you'd like to say, please do leave it in the comment section. And until the next video, guys, bye.